said to me at 1-for-1, and they told him no. That's what Tim told me. But again, they told Tim no, but they're telling Sharon yes. Right. Right. Tim doesn't want this, so I think, I mean, in a sense. But that's
Okay. Alrighty, I think we're ready to get started. So let's go ahead and call the August 7th, 2025 meeting of the Historic Preservation Commission to order. Can we please have the roll?
Yes. Commissioner Sibley.
Here.
Commissioner Henderson.
Here.
Commissioner Tarek.
Here.
Chairman Lane.
Here.
Commissioner O'Day.
Here.
Commissioner Jacoby.
Here.
Council Member Mayor Peck.
Here.
Okay, great. So we do have a quorum. We'll move on to approval of the July 9 meeting minutes. Do any commissioners have any comments or corrections? And if not, I'd entertain a motion.
I move to accept.
Okay.
And I'll second.
Okay, so I've got a motion to approve the minutes from Commissioner Tarek and seconded by Commissioner Sibley. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None. So the minutes are approved. Next is the report from Chair. I do not have anything to report on since our last meeting, so we'll just roll on to communications from HPC staff.
Great. Thank you, Chairman Lane. So I do have some updates. This is going to be an update-heavy meeting, so we don't have, but it should be a quick one. Just to give you an update on the hydroelectric plant houses. I mentioned these at our previous meeting that we are starting to work on moving forward with getting them secured, getting the area cleared out. If you aren't aware, the city has a historic hydroelectric plant up in Lyons. And it was built, beginning of the 20th century. The pumps and such that are in there are 100 years old and still running. It's a pretty amazing facility if you ever get a chance to look at it. It is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. There are 3 houses on the property, as well as some outbuildings that originally housed workers at the building, and they've fallen into disrepair over the years. And so I've been brought into the loop by Longmont Power and Communications staff, strategic services, to basically get them cleaned up and secured. At this point, they aren't looking at doing restoration, but we are looking at preventing further deterioration. So we have been working with the Historic Preservation Advisory Board and Boulder County Historic Preservation staff as we move forward and develop a plan for these buildings. The first step is going to be doing a lot of cleanup and clearing. There's quite a lot of brush, so there's some wildfire mitigation that needs to be done up there. And then there's some clearing out of debris and such to keep it from becoming, it needs to be secure so it's not an attractive nuisance. But it also, apparently there's a mother mountain lion that has had some cubs in there over a few occasions, and that's been caught on the wildlife cameras, which we said, oh my. So anyway, long story short, we've met with the Historic Preservation Advisory Board at Boulder County. We followed up. We met on site with them as well as staff. we followed up with a subcommittee to discuss plans to clear and secure the property. There are some very heavily deteriorated lean-tos that were identified as not necessarily being significant, basically some carports that were added on at some point, and they really are kind of a hazard to the primary houses at this point. So there are a couple of outbuildings that are pretty significantly deteriorated. The plan is to demolish at least some of them. A couple we're going to reevaluate when the brush is cleared so we can better take a look at them, simply because there is at least one chicken coop on the site that could be salvageable, but the feedback from the board was that it really does tell the story of the historic use of the property and how it was used over the years. So we have an approach. We will be submitting a demolition and deconstruction application for some of the lean-tos and such. Basically, hopefully, either at the September or October meeting, I'll bring Brandon Borgana, who is spearheading the effort, to give a more thorough update of what's going on. These are, this property is unincorporated Boulder County, but it is city owned. So this commission does not necessarily have any jurisdiction over it, but it is important that you are all kept in the loop on this. So it's a pretty interesting property. It's a very interesting site. So stay tuned. The other thing that's interesting about the property is there's a lot of stonework, and some of the structures were built by the Civilian Conservation Corps during the Depression. So it's got some really interesting features to it. So let's.
Near Button Rock, or where is it?
I think it's near Button Rock, but I'm not 100% certain. I need to look at a map. It's up 36 and past Lyons. So Apple Valley Road is where it is. Yeah, so it's just past Lyons. So I think I mentioned at the last meeting that Parks is anticipating doing some work on the historic house at Sandstone Ranch. It will likely be coming to the commission in the future. We're not really sure of the time frame. I will be meeting with Parks staff next week to do a walkthrough so we can discuss the work that's being done. What approvals by HPC would be necessary. I'm hoping to be able to guide them towards the most sensitive rehabilitation work that they can do. So stay tuned on that. So as that moves forward, we'll bring it to the commission. If there are any public hearings that are required, obviously those would, if commission approval is needed for any of the work, we would obviously bring that forward as well. The only other update I have is just a reminder that the October meeting is going to be held, I believe on October 8th. Maria will confirm. The usual first Thursday does conflict with Yom Kippur, so in order to avoid that conflict, we're going to reschedule that meeting. So we'll continue to keep you apprised of that. And with that, I'm going to let Melanie give some updates on what she's been working on as well.
All right. Good afternoon, commissioners. I just wanted to update you quickly that we did not process any administrative COAs in July. And we also wanted to update you that we on the website photo project, now that we have nearly 140 designated landmark properties, and with the launch of the updated website last year, we wanted to take the opportunity to update landmark photos. So we're going to go through the process of updating and expanding the photo collections for our landmarks in the next couple of months.
And kind of related to that, we'll continue to do a more thorough review of the website for the historic preservation section, just to determine any revisions that are needed. There was definitely some funkiness when the website migration happened, and we had noticed over the years that a lot of the photos of our landmark properties are a little geriatric and not the best resolution, probably circa 1980s that were scanned in at some point. So we figured this would be a really good opportunity, like Melanie said, to update those photos so that they accurately reflect what our landmark properties look like today. So that is what we have for updates. We have a few other things in prior business. So at that, I will turn it back over to the chair.
All right, thank you. Appreciate that. One quick question on the website. Do all those cultural surveys live back on, linked back on? There was a time when that got removed for ADA reasons, and I cannot remember if they're...
They are. I haven't. I'll be honest. I can't tell you. I can't recall right now where they are. But there's basically they're tied into the GIS system. So there is a method to click on properties, and they'll take you to the survey. So, and if you're looking for something and can't find it, I can always just email you the survey.
Yeah. Okay. And then just real quick, as I look at this, that we talked about that October meeting. You mentioned the 8th, so that means it's it's the following Wednesday, not the following Thursday, because of a conflict on that.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. So just because some people tend to miss that, not pointing any fingers.
We'll send out reminders with flashing lights and
Right.
and beacons and,
Yeah, okay.
and sirens.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Definitely not blaming Commissioner Barnett since he's not here.
We will send multiple reminders about that,
all right,
because
I appreciate
admittedly staff gets a little. What day is it?
Right. Okay, thanks. Commissioners, any questions for staff about anything that's been covered in that first round of report? No? Okay, great. Well, thank you all for that update. We very much appreciate knowing what's going on. Okay, next we have public invited to be heard. I'll open it up. We don't have anybody here, so I'll go ahead and close it forthwith. Then we do not have any items on public hearing, nor do we have any new business, so then we'll just go on to Section 9, prior business, and start with I guess another update on the survey plan grant application process.
Yes, and it's probably not new business. I probably should have included it in my update, but we will have a public hearing at the September meeting. There is it will basically be relating to our proposed demolition. So that will require commission approval pursuant to the code updates from last year. So stay tuned. That will be coming out with a packet. So on the survey, the grant application, so we looks like we'll be doing a regular grant, so the 50,000 plus. We're still working on the final amount. I have I've requested preliminary quotes from potential vendors so that we can have some preliminary bids for the application requirements. So that'll give us a better idea of what the grant amount might be and what our budget might be, and whether or not we are able to do one or two surveys in the next year. The letter of intent, we have, Melanie has been working on that. We'll get that submitted by close of business tomorrow, which is well in advance of the deadline. So once we get that letter of intent submitted, that's when we would receive, following that, we would receive the formal application from History Colorado. So that is something that we are working on. So stay tuned. We are moving forward with that. On the Tower of Compassion, I'm working with the comms team and representatives from History Colorado, Damian Pachotto. We're just trying to find some dates right now that we could do an on-site dedication ceremony to get our National Register plaque. So stay tuned on that.
Okay. Just real quick on the grant application. So that application is due early October, correct?
October 1st, yes.
Right,
October
okay.
1st. And they just opened the letter of intent. It's a pretty quick cycle. It was October 1st that the... August 1st, I meant. That was, yeah. August 1st is when the letter of intent window opened. So we are on that.
Okay.
And I've also been in communication with our city's grant coordinator as well, so as well as our purchasing department. So all of the appropriate people are on board or aware, aware that we are going to be working on this. So that's where we are.
Okay. Any questions for staff on that? No.
All right. One more prior business, and I'm going to let Melanie handle this one.
Yes, we wanted to update you on our letter to the historic property owners, our landmark owners. That letter was sent out July 21st, and we have since received one historic preservation tax credit from it. So that was exciting, and that will be reviewed here shortly. And that's all I have for the letter.
Thank you. Yeah, we received that application earlier this week, so basically we're going to start evaluating it and see if we need additional information.
And they were filing that application or reaching out because they saw the
yep,
letter?
because they got
that's
the
awesome.
letter. So that was exactly what we intended to do.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so it's having results.
Yes. It's better than cold calling. Okay, great.
And that's all we have on prior business.
Okay, well, this is going to be the world record for meetings timeline. Any further questions of staff? This is your last formal official chance. All right, thank you, Commissioner. I'll find my foolish. There it is. All right, great. Thank you.
There it goes, yeah. I got the letter. I thought it looked really great, really positive. And hopefully the letter's written, it takes no time to save it and just send it out every 3 years or something. I think that would be great. As you've already discovered, you're fishing for business and you'll get it that way. And word of mouth spreads about the benefits. I think that's great.
Wonderful, thanks. Any other comments? Okay, great. I appreciate all of staff's efforts. So then, last item on the agenda is just any sort of miscellaneous comments from HPC commissioners. Does anybody have anything they care to share? Or, no? Okay. I do have one item. So I will not be here for the September meeting. I will be traveling, which means that Commissioner Norton would be chairing the meeting. But if she's for some reason not able to be here, then somebody else would have to do that. So that might want to get figured out sooner than later. Just
Yes.
not to put any pressure on anybody, especially if we do have a public hearing and.
I can
you know,
reach
kinda-
out to Commissioner
yeah.
Norton about that.
Okay.
Otherwise, we would be going rock, paper, scissors among the commissioners. for
Right.
who gets-
It's not that scary, but yeah, I know Commissioner Norton likes to have the opportunity, but I don't, just to be sure. Yeah, okay, that's great. I think that's all I had to share. So, any comments from our city council rep, Mayor Peck? No? Okay. Wow, all right. Then I only need one more motion. Okay, I'll take that as, okay, I've got a motion to adjourn from Commissioner O'Day and a second from Commissioner Jacoby because he wasn't quick enough. All those in favor? Aye. All right, we are adjourned. Thank you all. Thank you, staff, for your work in between time.